pull into where I'm gonna camp. I successfully got the Razor off of the jumping jack. That's the first time I've ever loaded it and unloaded it. And I'm making some dinner. Gonna have some peak refuel. And my water's boiling already. If you guys don't have one of these jet boils, you guys seriously need to buy one of these. These are the best possible thing you can get. Some you have to actually light with a lighter. This one has an igniter switch, and this thing is freaking money. And give these guys a try. Hey, what's up guys? It's Saturday morning. I've got my cousin Colton and his friend Ryan here with us today. We are finally in a different unit this year. So I've been hunting a particular unit, and this is the first weekend we came to a different unit. We found a lot of antlers in here the past 2 years, so hopefully today we're picking up a bunch. These guys drove up from the valley. They go to ALA Ironwood High School.
Yeah. Yep.
And Ryan graduated last year, and they're both leaving to the military again here soon.
Yep, Marines. Yep.
Both headed to the Marines, so we thank these guys for their service. And hopefully we're all bringing back some heavy packs today, so stay tuned. We'll catch you guys in a bit. Well, just side hilling. I think I got my first little raghorn spotted of the day. Hopefully we find a lot bigger stuff than this. But usually where there's one, there's more. Lots of tiny bulls in here. But first one of the day, I'll throw it on the pack and hopefully we run into some more. That thing's even a couple years old. So even we've missed those. We didn't hit the spot very hard last year, but 2 years ago we were in here. We found a lot of sheds. Well, just hiking through here, happened to look to my left, caught some tines sticking up. It might be a brown. Like a little 6-point. Yeah, it looks like a brown. Nice. Heck yeah. That's my second shed of the day, first brown of the day. He's busted on his 5th and his beam, but that's actually a pretty nice shed for this unit. Just busted. Been on the ground for a while. I think it's May 24th. So stuff's really starting to get light. Super knobby. Let me get a picture or two, and then I've been seeing a lot of sign. Maybe there's some more stuff in here. Got some good mass on them. It's not a giant, but that's probably man, it's actually pretty heavy. It's probably about 7 pounds at least. So let's keep looping around and see what else we can turn up in here. Oh, there was a tank back behind me. I knew there had to be an antler in here somewhere. I don't think this is the match. I think this is probably a last year's antler. Yeah, that's a hard white. But that's a good sign. Right here by this tank, there's even some tire tracks. No one bothered to even come in and pick these up, so that's the third one on the day. I got one chalk, one hard white, and one brown, so let's keep looping around and see what we can find. Well, that was fast. I'm on the same line. I just picked up that hard white behind me. Here's another hard white, but a different bull. So these bulls are hanging out together. But that means I'm on the right line, hugging this side hill. That's my 4th shed. Pack's not super heavy, but it's gonna start getting there. We've only been hiking for about an hour and a half. So let me get this picked up. Well, just hiked up this ridge. This is how close I got to this thing before I even saw it. Just an old chalk sitting underneath this log. But let me move this log, see if we can get it out. All right, I got this log out of the way. Just an old one. Just like 10, 12 years too late on it. I don't know if I'm gonna keep this one or not, but that's my 5th antler of the day. I haven't found anything since 8:30, so I found 4 in about an hour, hour and a half, and then it's been about 3 hours till I just found this one. So hopefully I'll hit another pocket going up this ridge. Well, it's been about 10-15 minutes since I found that old chalky elk, and I was not expecting this. Can you see that deer shed? That looks like a freaking giant, especially for this unit. Holy crap. He's got some mass on him. It's too bad we couldn't save him way before. That's a sweet buck. Look how wide that thing shoots out. It's got that split off of that G4 there. And that's not super old. Probably about 3 or 4 years old. Maybe I'll be able to turn him up in here, I'm not sure. But pretty cool knobby base. Let's see what else we can turn up. Well, I just came from over there. That deer shed is about 100 yards back there. There's a really nice burn back there, and I was surprised I didn't pick anything up. And I was walking right through here. Just happened to look back, and I almost walked past that right there. You see it? Looks like brown. That would be my 2nd brown of the day and my 7th antler. Is that a brown? I think that's a hard white. Yeah, that's from last year. Still got some decent color on them. Heck yeah, maybe there's some more stuff in here. I'll take that any day. Looks like a brown on this side, but it's not. Well, just side hilling. I think this is an antler. Might be a stick. Nope, it's an antler. Old one. Just hung up on that deadfall. Super old ragger. But that's number 8 on the day. Maybe there's something else in here. Well, I've been side hilling. I just hit this old fire road. I was just telling myself I've been hiking for 8 hours and I have 8 sheds. And I am due for another one. And I just barely see some tines. You see it sticking up right over that log, that deadfall? Right there, see some tines. It's not a brown, I don't think. I think it's either a hard white or chalk again. But it's at least a decent 5-point. Might be hard white. Yeah, just a little 5-point. I think that's from last year. Yeah, I would say so. Still got a little bit of color. Well, that's good. That's number 9 on the day. Let's see what else we can turn up. Well, I made it back to camp. I found 5 more. I drove down the road to come grab my stash pile. I left 4 elk sheds here earlier this morning. I found 4 by 8:30 and I didn't want to be carrying them around all day. Still only found the 1 brown, but at least some decent hard whites. But let me grab these and throw them on the razor and we'll go back to camp. I don't think Colton and Ryan found much today. All right, I got these loaded on the pack. Not an amazing day, but it was a decent day. Found 9 so far. Still got some time. I might go back to camp and then just loop around from there or go for a quick drive. But let's see what else we can turn up today. Well, it's Sunday morning. Me, Colton, and Ryan are out hiking. Got my first elk shed of the day. Just a teeny tiny little raghorn, but that's a hard white from last year. It's tiny, but we'll throw it on the pack and keep it. Quad tracks above me, so I'm just side hill on the sides. And then I found some antlers down here before. I'm gonna go check that spot and then loop around up on the top, make my way back. These guys are wanting to head out at 12:30. I'll take them back to camp, then I'll go somewhere else. Well, I've been hiking this draw. I just barely popped out right there. And right out in front of me, got an elk shed. Looks like just a raghorn. At least a 4, maybe a 5. It's not that old. It's a little 6-point actually. That's pretty cool. Got a real wavy beam on him. Not bad. Not a giant obviously, but I'll take a little 6-point. Looks like a 2-year-old antler. But hopefully that's the first of some more in here. Let's see what we can find. Well, I found that elk shed about 10-15 minutes ago. Wasn't expecting a deer shed in here. Looks like it's a couple years old too. Just a decent 3-point. Well, that's pretty cool. Hopefully I'm gonna find some browns here sometime. I don't know if this is my weekend or not, but stay tuned. Well, I just picked up that deer shed. And I got one hiding in the grass in front of me. Looks like a 5-point elk shed. But that is my 4th antler of the day. That's a 2-year-old shed. Pretty cool, the blade on the back. Not a giant bull, but maybe we'll get into something else. Match up one of these bad boys. Still got a little bit of color. It could even be from last year. Right on. Let's see what else we can turn up in here. Well, just walking past, almost missed this one. Just barely caught it. I think it's the match to that little 6-point that I picked up. This one's actually a 7-point. Look how tiny that is. It's got some good genetics. It's got a lot of points on there. He just is tiny. But that's my 5th shed of the day. And not a single brown today. Crazy. Well, let's get him. Let me get a picture and we'll get him picked up. It's probably a 2 to 3-year-old. I don't think that's the match. This one's a little bit older. Just a little bull with some good genetics. He'll be big, or he might be big now. This is probably 3-4 years ago. But let's see what else we can turn up. Well, just making it back to the razor. It's about 3:30. I have found 4 elk sheds and 1 deer shed today. And I might just call it a day. I'll probably head back to camp. Well, we had some people show up to camp. Colton and Ryan went home. We got Caitlin, Riley, Presley, and Tia, and my son Ronan. They drove the Jeep in here. I was getting ready to load the razor on the trailer and maybe move spots, so We'll probably run up the road a little bit, see if we can't hike for a few hours, find something, and then we'll all head home tonight, I guess. What's up, Nova? Stay tuned. Hopefully we're picking up something. Well, Ronan and I are just hiking. Say hi. And I got a brown right in front of me. Let me flip this around. Come on, Nova. Just a little tiny 5-point. Hey, what's up? Look at that. See the antler? What is that, Nova? What is it, Nova? What is that? What is that? You see the antler? Nova, what is this? What is that? Nova, what is this? Well, I got a brown. Let's get it picked up. Well, we just made it back. My son Ronan found his first brown elk shed.
What's up, buddy?
I wasn't paying attention. He was like tapping me. Right, Bubs? Yep. But we're gonna load up the razor and get out of here.
What?
These are the antlers I found yesterday and today. Only 2 browns. These 2 right here. Didn't match them up. Similar genetics, but they're not a set. One's way heavier. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 antlers. Not bad. 9 yesterday and 6 today. Well, so here was the cleanup from last week's video. I did find one other deer shed that I didn't film. Let me show you. This is my stash of antlers this year. These are all my hard whites and chalks just from this year. So the elk are on the side and then there's some deer sheds in the middle. But I think we're up to about 228 antlers this year. And then my browns I keep downstairs. But thanks for watching this week's video, guys. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, you can click on this link right here and you'll be subscribed to the channel. If you missed the previous 2 weeks' videos, you can click here in the corners, get caught up on those videos. As always, give this video a thumbs up and we'll catch you guys on the flip side.